Hello everyone, this is Infamous.sevens. Welcome to the Precinct project. I'm in London, it's 2:41 p.m. in the afternoon over here. I'm here with Smvrk.
Hey, how you doing? It's 9:45 a.m. in Brampton, Ontario, Canada.
Cool, man. Alright, let's get into the interview. So, what got you into photography?
Photography, I've always just been a visual person. Drawing from since I could pick up crayons and drawing on the walls and getting in trouble from my mom. And then, buying a sketchbook as I got older, taking courses in high school, in elementary, whatever I could take. And then photography just seemed to be the next wave or the next step for me in terms of making visuals and creating my own work.
So did you ever have any inspirations back then in terms of photography? Like, how was that transition for you?
Well, my biggest inspiration was from just growing up and in a I guess not so great area, but biggest inspiration were like music. Like, I used to love listening to Jay-Z and seeing him come from almost nothing to starting his own record label to being a multi-millionaire. And then, me being a kid, you look at these guys as heroes, and me drawing and, in that bad area, and then eventually being able to afford a camera and continuing on that way. It's just naturally.
Yeah, Jay-Z is great, man. I mean, just about his music anyway, his older stuff was definitely the shit. I mean, I don't know about his newer stuff. I'm not that into it, but yeah, I can definitely see how you would be able to relate. I mean, photographers wise, who are you seeing like coming up, or people who have a lot of potential? Like anyone anyone you've seen on Instagram?
Well, it's funny because in terms of my photography, I like different photographers for different things. So before Instagram ever even started, 13 Witness was probably, in terms of photography, one of my biggest inspirations.
Yeah, it's everyone I talk to, it's him, and like I always say this, like if he could understand how many people he inspired, like I mean,
I'm sure he knows, man, because there was a lot of people who didn't even know what street photography was. They didn't even really care for photography in general. And this was taking photos when he was like 20, 21. And now he's become like this big legend who's helped a lot of people without even like talking to them.
Man, I don't think he even knows. Like these sorts of things, like, I mean, you could have inspired 5 people just by what you're doing, but I don't think, it's one of those things you really have to be on the other side to understand how much you've inspired people. Like I remember, being at home, doing my general iPhone photography shit, and then just seeing his work and just wanting to like try and capture that rawness and that sort of atmosphere. And he did inspire me at the start, definitely. I mean, yeah, which other photographers anyway?
And then eventually, for non-Instagram photographers, it was 13 Witness at the time before Instagram. Then there was this guy named Raj Walker. He creates like this crazy mood in terms of portrait photography. It's very like greenish mood, but he's from New York.
Yeah.
Jamal Sabash, he was a great photographer in the 90s, and he just photographed New York scenes like hip hop and style and breakdancing. And different things like that. In terms of music, it was Jonathan McMahon. This guy's created some of the best album arts. He's created Reasonable Doubt. He's created album covers for Nas, for DMX.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys, for a lot of different reasons, inspired me for things. Annie Leibovitz, when I watched her documentary a couple years ago, she just got a job with Rolling Stone, and then went from Rolling Stone to Vanity Fair, and then became the Vanity Fair art director for years. So it's a lot of different photographers, and I think sometimes the reason why they inspire me are for a lot of different things. I can't say one specific person inspired me, because then you're just bottling yourself. You're just bottling yourself one style. So for me, it's a lot of people, but I'd say the main person that got me into it was 13 Witness, and that kind of adapted into Trash Hand, because 13 takes a lot of off the cuff kind of photos with portraits and stuff, but I like the scenery, moody shots, straight down the middle.
I've personally been more of a fan of just like 13th more so than Trash Hand. I don't know what it is. It's just I guess it just resonates with me more.
13 is different, because 13 will take a shot even if it's not the most popular shot. He'll take it and he'll just do an edit. Like, the thing I can respect about Trash Hand is he'll take the shot and it's almost like perfect. It's down the middle. The edit's perfect. The edit's great. You can tell he spent time doing his work, and it's just consistent. Like, all his edits seem to have that consistent color. He's like a computer, that guy, Trash Hand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just looking at his stuff now. I definitely see what you mean about it's perfect, but I mean, you can say it's perfect, but you know how it is when you go out and shoot. You get, I mean, it's for me anyway, you get fucking 2,000 photos and then 3 comes out. But that's definitely the key. If you want to be best, if you want to succeed, I mean, even if you just want that own perfection in yourself, it's hard to, just not accept what you can do, but instead just push yourself.
You have to be hard on yourself, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, what is your opinion on competition in any way?
So I think competition is a good thing, man. I think, for me, if I want to be better, I want to be, known or up against the Trash Hands and 13 Witnesses of the world. It's almost like the student out beating the master kind of thing. I don't know if I'll ever get there in terms of numbers, but in terms of putting out great quality work, that's somewhere where I still strive to be, right? Yeah. And then obviously competition could go another way, right? Sometimes people could get too competitive and then start beefs and unfollows and start trash talking, which is never a good thing. But you're going to get that. You're going to get good competition where people are, driving you and inspiring you and talking to you and helping you grow. And you're going to get those people who hate, but you just let the hate motivate. So you keep pushing and you keep doing your thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just always think it's good to have competition. Some disagree, think, it should always be a friendly environment. But, friendly competition and bad competition, very two different things, as you said. And, you should always just try and do the best that you can. If that's not what you're trying to do, then, yeah.
At the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy, right? Because if you look at it and you're just competing just to compete, eventually you're going to get tired of it, and then you're not going to find a purpose. But if you're happy with what you put out, and and you can still feel as if you're still competing with the likes of some good photographers, then why not continue it? And especially if you're happy, because when you're happy doing something, the results will come through your work. If you're unhappy, it'll affect you, and then the work will start to show.
Yeah, for sure. What do you shoot with?
I shoot with a Canon 6D.
Man, a lot of the best. Like, Moses Sins. I don't know if you know Moses Sins. Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller's my buddy, man. I shot with that guy so many times.
You shot with him?
Yeah, Ryan.
Oh man, one other guy I talked to shot with him like came by him like once. Do you know Moses Sins?
No.
He's. Are you familiar with his photos?
Familiar with his photos, and I was talking to him actually recently. We added each other on Snapchat, and we were talking about hip hop music, man.
Yeah, he's really into hip hop. Yeah, he showed me quite a few artists as well.
He's got little daily stickers everywhere.
Yeah, Daily Plus. Yeah, shout out to him then. But yeah, he's in the magazine as well. I don't know. I just thought it would be good to mention. I don't know if you're familiar with all of the artists that are in there, but Ryan Miller, man, he was definitely one of my biggest inspirations for me. Anyway, I mean, his consistency, his style. What is he like in person, anyway?
Good people, man. That's a good dude right there, man. Every time that guy comes back, because he doesn't live in Toronto anymore. He's moved to the States
Oh
because
yeah.
also does music on the side, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. But where does he release his music? I've only seen like a couple tracks on SoundCloud.
He doesn't. Yeah, that's it. He just really does it on SoundCloud. But I think for the most part, he makes his money off of his photography. I think the music is like a side thing
Yeah.
that I think he wants to dabble into, but. You still gotta eat, so I think he's just jumped into photography and he's doing the filters with a couple of his buddies that he sells. But Ryan Miller's good people, man. I've never had anything bad to say about Ryan Miller. He actually took me on my second rooftop ever, man. So
is he? What does he look like? Is he white? Is he? I'm guessing he's white, right?
He's a white dude, short white dude, man. He's probably about like 5'6" or maybe shorter.
I've always wondered, man. It's just one of those things.
Small guy, but takes big photos, man. That's
his consistency is, I mean, for me, was just absolutely ridiculous, man. His consistency in his photos.
That guy's like in top 5 in Toronto, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, what are you looking to like do in the future? In terms of like your photography or like your goals, or I mean, what do you want to just do anyway?
So, well, I always look at things in 5 years, right? Because I'm always thinking like in the future and what's next, even to grow, just as a person and then and an artist. But for me, I want to start traveling a lot more. Like I said, I traveled to Chicago this year. I was planning on New York, but kind of want to get some more gear and then a laptop and then pay off some bills and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you guys are out in London because the biggest thing I want to do is I want to come to London. Like, I'm a big fan of like London movies. And
really, what kind of London movies are you into?
Well, they're obviously the Hollywood kind of movies, right? Like the what's that, man?
James Bond.
Snatch, James Bond. But
Snatch is great. Yeah, Snatch is. Yeah, I'm happy you said Snatch. Yeah.
Snatch is one of them, and then I think that director he's made a couple movies from London, but like just the comedy from London is different. I've watched a whole bunch of movies from London, and I think it's funny because I like the inspiration that London brings. It's a completely different vibe from the Western world. Speaking of inspiration when it comes to London, 2 photographers that you have out there that kill me with inspiration is Vincent Chapter, Emmanuel Cole.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Cole's camera gear got stolen, so like he wasn't on the ground for a little while. But Vincent Chapters, I'm always checking out that guy's work because he captures the moment. Like he captures life. Like you'll see someone like just around the corner peeping, he catches their eye. Or, you'll see like people jammed up in a subway cart. He's catching them. But, yeah, for me, it's just travel. I want to travel to a couple big places. But obviously the money's got to be there. But New York for sure. Definitely want to do that around my birthday. London's on the bucket list.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't mind showing you around, man. I know a bunch of spots. You know what I mean?
Los Angeles. Yeah, so just travel, man. Travel and hopefully, keep pushing. And then maybe I'm able to work with some pretty good companies, and then go from there, man.
Yeah, man. Vincent Chapters, yeah, he's very good as well. Definitely, I'd say out of everyone, he would definitely go down like as one of those like legendary photographers. Anyway, definitely in the future. I don't know. You can just see it with his style. It has something like so classical, but like futuristic about it as well. It's like. It's the way he manages to pull it off. You feel like you're in a different era, but it's got this like surrealism to it. I don't know how to describe it.
Oh, absolutely. I know what you mean.
It feels like you're weirdly there, but you're not. I don't know how to say it. Okay, cool. So you want to just like travel and shit like that, and yeah. What kind of lenses do you use with your camera anyway?
So right now, my very first lens, if you got fans that know about apertures, was a 50 1.8. This is probably like $90 from Canon.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I want something a little wider. So then I got the 35, which is probably one of my most used lens. Went from 24 millimeter. Then I upgraded my 50 1.8 to 1.2, and then I recently just bought a 70 to 200 for the long distance. I still want to get a couple more lenses, but that's just the geek in me, man. I want to get a couple more, and I want to upgrade my camera gears as well. Like I want to get either a 5D Mark III or a 1DX, because I shoot sports from time to time with because I've been a big fan of basketball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was doing a couple campaigns with some companies in terms of shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you mean the 1DX for Nikon?
No, for Canon.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Nikon has something exactly like that. It's like their flagship, their latest flagship.
5D or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy the specs it has on it. It's like a fucking machine gun, man. It just goes. It's like, I mean, those cameras are like insanely good. But yeah. Okay, so it's the 50, and then you got like a bunch of other ones. So what do you think about the latest updates to Instagram?
It's that whole Snapchat thing. I don't know if I care for it much, but I think it's cool. I think you can probably do a little behind the scenes. You can't do as much like swearing and nudity as like people do on like Snapchat, due to the fact that like Instagram's got some serious laws. They'll probably take you down, tell you can't be snapping for like a week or something. But I think it's just another company trying to put their foot in the door, because they've seen that people are not even Instagramming anymore. They're Snapchatting.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much easier. They can put their photos on Snapchat. It's up there for an hour. They can put their behind the scenes on Snapchat. But now, if you integrate that with Instagram and Snap, so to speak, it's the best of both worlds. It's like a one-stop shop. Now, like if you can put like 140 characters into Instagram, you can get rid of Twitter now. And, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true.
Fun. It should be fun. It's always got to adapt to the change, right? Because if you can't adapt to the change, then you're gonna get left behind. It's like when people went from CDs to streaming. I think it's a much needed change, because now what's Snapchat gonna do? Because Snapchat's probably losing some users now too, right?
You see, I agree but disagree, because I think with the open-endedness of what they're trying to do nowadays with apps, I think it's going a bit too far these days. I mean, you got Facebook trying to integrate calling, trying to integrate like so many things that it's just unnecessary. You got Snapchat integrate calling. I don't know why you'd ever want to call anyone on Snapchat. Like, why you'd ever want to do that, I don't know. And then WhatsApp trying to do that as well, and all of these different apps trying to get into this sort of like universal model of like just integrating all these features that are just so unnecessary. I think it's going to be more of an afterthought if you use like Instagram stories more so than, Snapchat. I think Snapchat already has its foundation and what it does, and it does it well. They're definitely getting sued for that shit, man. I definitely do hope they get sued, because the way they ripped it off was like piece by piece by piece, Yeah. So in terms of your like editing, or what do you use for editing?
Well, I use Lightroom. I've started to use Photoshop. I used to use a lot of Visco films, because it was something just to help in terms of like kind of learning how to edit and things like that.
Yeah, like when you just start out.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to edit a little more from scratch. I'm starting to understand, the whole editing process and what I want to do. Because now I know exactly what I want to do, so I know exactly where I'm going and how I need to change it. But basically, my edits come from the music I listen to. Because it's not always bubbly music, it's not always positive music, but I'm still a pretty positive person. Yeah. And then I think it's just I love movies, so I like creating that cinematic scene. I love the city. I love the hustle and bustle of a city. I love that there's millions of people just moving, and you might never know what's going on with any one of them, but you're just part of that. You're just part of that whole system of people just going everywhere. It's
your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time has changed a lot of times, because growing up it used to be The Matrix,
Yeah, that was sick, but the third one was just like poor.
Yeah,
Like.
As I'm getting older, like a lot of movies that kind of mess with your mind are like I watched this movie called Memento.
Yeah.
Dude had to tattoo like reminders on his body so that he would know. Oh, yo.
Yeah. Have you seen Fight Club as well?
Oh, Fight Club, hands down, one of my top 10 movies.
Have you seen the I think it's called The Mechanist or something like that? Yeah, you've seen that one, right?
Yeah, trust me, I watch, good or bad, I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
In terms of series, I like series as well. So I'm about to watch the Jason Bourne movie in a couple days.
Yeah.
Because I like that continuous from one to the next. Because I'm big on storytelling, right? Like I'm a storyteller, visual storyteller myself. I hate reading. If someone tells me to read something, unless it's for photography purposes or art purposes or anything pertaining to that, I will not read it. I will hardly read at a restaurant. I do not like reading. I like writing, obviously, because I like letters. I like how you can change letters. But reading, absolutely hate it. So if someone could give me a video for anything in the world, I would rather watch the video. The video explains something. But when it comes to reading something, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, it's much more easier just to pick it up while you're doing it anyway with a lot of things.
Yeah. I've made furniture upside down, dude, just because I didn't want to read the manual. I have a bookshelf that's almost like inside out due to the fact that I didn't read the manual, and I was like, screw it, it's up.
Bro, I literally have like a fan here that I had to build. Like the front part is like slightly coming off because I just could not be asked either to go through the fucking instruction manual. I know the feeling, man. I know, but I definitely shouldn't overlook writing though as a whole. It definitely has its worth. But what's your idea anyway on the Instagram community?
I think obviously the Instagram community is growing. I think it's now changed in terms of you have your really cool people who have 100,000 followers or 100K and above, and then you have your people who are everything under. You know, if you're not above 50,000 or 50,000 followers, no one's really caring to see what you're doing, which is unfortunate. It's almost like society. Like if you don't make above 50,000 yearly, no one's even looking at you as someone that's rich. You know, they're like, oh, the poverty. So like, what do you do?
That's true. But I think you can still make it on Instagram. I really do. Like with a shit ton of hard work, being smart, being able to market yourself, you really can. But it takes a lot of work. And but yeah, I agree. It is like that. But I mean, what I hate anyway about the community right now is that you get so many people trying to like, buy followers or trying to like, you know the people, right? You can just tell straight away. You see their profiles 150K, you go on their comments, no comments, like barely any likes, and you're like, yeah, it sucks, man. It really does suck. But yeah, that's definitely the bad part of it all, of the community right now. Have you got anything else to say about it?
No, it's for me, the community is growing, and it's obviously a great thing to see, up and coming people. I think that some of those big guys still need to remember kind of where they came from, and then help out those ones that are starting up. Not just giving the advice, oh, shoot every day. Nobody in their right mind shoots every day. Not even like the.
Yeah, I agree. You see, I moved away from early on. I used to like try and shoot as much as I could, but you sort of like, I don't know if you have it as well, but I don't know how you shoot, but I try and plan out what am I gonna shoot, how am I gonna execute it, and then I go out and execute it because I find that,
the best do it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you wind up wandering in a fucking... I don't know what it looks like over there, but here you just wind up wandering through roads, wandering for like God knows where. It's good to find spots, but it's if you can find it, shoot it, get it done, then you can get so much more done as well in terms of photography. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't make a plan and you go somewhere like a big city and you just walk around. What if you don't find anything?
You're gonna miss 98% of what's good if you don't plan. If you fail to plan, then yeah, you plan to fail, I guess.
Oh, for sure. That's a good quote.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's really it for me for the community, man.
Cool,
So,
man. Cool.
what's it like in London, man? I gotta ask you because I've obviously through graffiti and just watching guys like Banksy and seeing his CCTV all over the place. You guys have a lot of CCTV, man.
Oh yeah, we got it everywhere. But the thing is, I've done a lot of the rooftoping. You know, I usually do it by myself because I don't know. I don't really trust people. People usually fuck that shit up for me anyway. But you know, it's just easier just to go in on a solo mission. But yeah, you've got so much CCTV. But there's actually a statistic that can just sum it up for you anyway. If you like look it up, I don't know. It's something like more than half of the footage that people view is missed anyway. It's a lot like more of a mental deterrence than anything else. Yeah, we've got a shitload of CCTV, but I mean, it really doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean like fuck all at the end of the day. I mean, unless you get caught, but I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah, we got everywhere. Banksy's yeah, definitely very remarkable in what he does. Really, really.
I think it's funny because apparently no one's ever seen that guy's face. Like, there's a few people in the world that know what he looks like, but
Yeah. I think that was actually, now that you say that, I think there was an article where they show his face and it turned out he was like a painter or something. I don't know.
he's a cool dude, man. Well, I just for even that. Speaking of that, I like the whole anonymity. The fact that for me, I think I've only shown my face maybe 2 or 3 times, and it's funny because I had the opportunity to host an Insta walk or Insta meet last year, and someone met me and they said, "Holy shit, you're black." And I was like, "Wow." I said, I was kind of laughing because like I didn't even know it really mattered if I was black or not. But he's like, "Man, I didn't know what color you were." But he's like, "Oh, because that guy was black too." But he's like, "I didn't even know you were black." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I let the work speak for itself. I don't try to be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm here for the black community. I'm here as a black artist. Photos of black people."
Yeah, I definitely think if you put your ethics in front of your work, then your work is gonna suffer anyway. You know, if you put your beliefs ahead of it, you should always try and do the best that you can. And then, yeah, I feel like I'm going to a complicated topic anyway, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's definitely good to have that. Yeah, I just tried to like search up that whole Banksy thing. I could not find his face. So, but yeah, the anonymity is definitely cool because that way you can't really judge, a person straight away based on how they look. You judge on their abilities instead. And I think it's like much more humble just to like, see the person's pictures than it is to like show off your face or whatever.
That stems from the whole graffiti thing because graffiti artists aren't much seen. They were seen like a couple years ago because like they were starting to sell clothes and stuff like that. But for the most part, graffiti artists weren't seen. They had their secret names. They had their like secret clubs and crews, and they just made work, man. That was it. It wasn't about followers. It wasn't about hype. It was just about let's go out, let's go create something, and and then go home, and then come out the next day and see who likes it, see what people have to say. It's almost like a silent gallery, man. Like you make the work, you come out the next morning, and you see people look at it, and they're like, oh, this guy kills it, and you're like, yeah, what do you think about the work? And they don't even know they're talking to the artist. You know what I mean? I think that's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is amazing.
Oh, this guy sucks. This guy's a rebel. I'm like, oh yeah, you really think so?
Yeah, just to have that. Yeah, it is a good feeling, man. So yeah, thanks for being on the show. This has been Infamous.sevens, and I've been here with Smvrk. Thank you for being on the show again. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Definitely appreciate it. I'm humbled.
Oh, that's cool, man. It's always good to get some different perspectives on what you do, and just to connect with your audience, because I think even though people might not realize it, these photographers, you for instance, or other people inspire a lot more people than you think, and it's just good to have that forum. But yeah, okay, peace everyone.
Thanks. Take it easy.